Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone around the world. I am Paul Sisler, and this is In the Moment. Hello, hello, hello. Make note that at the end of the intro and all that, I put up the suicide and crisis lifeline, dial 988. Um, if you're finding yourself in a mental situation where you need help, don't hesitate to call. As someone that suffers with suicidal thoughts, I find this to be a very sensitive topic for me and all that. And people that need help, sometimes you need to reach out, whether it's family, friends, or the crisis hotline. Um, please reach out if you need that. Suicides in this country are up tremendously. From the year 2001, where we used to have around 20,000 suicides a year. Last year we had 49,000 suicides, and this year it's going to be over 50,000. So my friend Reggie Townsend did an episode with the veterans, and even veteran suicides are on a rise. So please, if you are in mental distress, get some help. Get some help. All right. I would like to introduce our cast from the flow. We have Shadow Fox, and we have live in New York.
It's Diana Bishop.
Diana Bishop, who's with Shadow Fox.
Hey,
Yes.
we got good vibes going.
Diana Bishop meets Shadow Fox, aka the title of this show, Love Meets Wisdom.
Yeah, it's
Oh
interchangeable.
my.
And it's
It is.
interchangeable.
Absolutely.
So we were really in like we were in ceremony yesterday, and I was supposed to get a hold of Mr. Paul J. Sisler and let him know about the show and everything, and it kept getting later and later and later, and finally it was so late I said, I'm going to bed, I'll call him in the morning. And so we dropped the ball, man. Paul, he calls, he goes, what are we doing the show about? And I said, well, we're going to be doing it in the flow. So today it's kind of like a free-for-all, and I think that because, you know, Diana has been exiled from the ex-Twitterverse, that I would actually give her an opportunity to kind of speak a little bit so people can, you know, have a chance to hear from her. Yeah, this is on, you know, many different channels, but I think that she has quite a bit to say. We've had just great energy. We've done ceremonies. There's been teachings. There's been just sharing and caring. And I think that to be able to hear a little bit from her experience, how she's going to utilize some information perhaps in her own life. I mean, it's free for all. She can speak on whatever she likes to. So I am going to hush, and I'm going to sip some coffee and like wake up.
Bless you, love. Bless you.
At you.
I am. I am called Hummingwind to begin with. I have a new name, and I am honored, and I hope to live up to it. When I got this name yesterday, it resonates so much with my higher self, and my I am presence. And that's the thing. One of the things that I was getting as all of the stuff that's been going on during this week and this traveling and everything. The more I keep getting and more expansion that keeps coming, the more I keep realizing that there's the level. There's the level that still applies in so many ways to everything with the body issue, because
Oh,
every
you need to get a little closer to the camera and all that.
every thought and every emotion is love.
Okay. Is that better? Can you guys hear us now?
Yes, yes. You were starting to rug a little bit, so.
Okay,
Oh.
no, but every thought and every emotion is energy. So questioning ourselves continuously, what energy are we putting out?
Yeah.
And that's why I keep saying I go back to where's the love in it?
Mm-hmm.
Because if there isn't any, then it is a thought I will no longer allow. I will recall, I will cancel, I will delete, and then I will replace it with something that is of love.
Yeah. And so just to make a mention, because you had mentioned being called by another name, that this is a sacred name. This is given to you by your ancestors, your guides, and there's meaning behind each portion of the name. And so I know that when she was presented the teachings within that name, you could just tell she lit up like a Christmas tree. It was like it was, I think it just kind of helped validate and solidify for her own personal journey, that journey within and the journey without. That I think it just magnetized that aspect for you,
Oh,
and it brings kind of like a direction almost and the possibilities. And I know that as far as like just this beautiful week of just high intense energy and just different capacities, just doing different things, that um it is one of the things that my husband and I, we two hawks, um we we strive to emulate, is that what we speak upon, and truly we do. um it's our home, it's our environment, our communities, bringing that beautiful energy of compassion and love, integrity, grace, all of these key points. And we were speaking. I guess last night we had a sacred fire, and last night we were speaking about things of to work through in our humanness, right? Within that emotional component that we all carry, and sometimes it can be very chaotic. And like what Paul was saying, with the suicides being up, that these energies, we can continually be triggered by it. And here's another component to that. These people who are struggling with whether it be depression or frustration and constant stagnant and being blocked at here and there, and no matter what they're doing, they feel that helplessness. Um, Again, we will say this over and over and over again until it really starts registering, is for us. And Diana and I have spoken about this in our spaces, about cleaning up that emotional atmosphere around us, and then refrain from creating more of it. Like Diana said, when she recognizes maybe a thought or something may not be to the highest and the best intent, she'll cancel it and then recreate from there. And we have given over and over, how many times? Different ways of clearing up that atmosphere, that energy around your surroundings, within your home, within your backyard, within your car. Um, so that if we start doing that, if we, each individual person starts clearing up our junk, all that stuff from our human constructs of lack, of misery, of seeing the world so differently because perhaps maybe something isn't going politically the way you happen to like it. Oh my. Well, guess what? There's a little bit of both. You can't have it can't just be considered under one specific bias, right? It just can't. We have to keep those biases in check, and so that's a thing that we can always work with. So, you know, Diana, we were talking this morning, and here's a good one, okay, for like, what was it, the political debates, okay? What if on a political debate that the commentators, the very first question to every single person is, why is your opponent the best person for this job? What does that do? It shifts completely the entire dogma of how that person's horrible. This person did that. They did this. And it's that de-edification and shunning of another human being. But guess what? Hey, I'm sitting right next to Diana. Diana carries the love and joy, and so do I. We can carry great anger if we chose to. We could be frustrated and create our biases, but how does that serve someone? So just think about it.
How does that serve us too?
Exactly. So it's to edify another human being. And in doing so, then we also edify ourselves. And then this way, on the political landscape, then they can really talk about policy and allow the people to judge for themselves which policy would really, best suit them. Because when you think about it, you can't have one without the other. You can't have only one side in control and diminish another. They have to come together in cohesion. And this is what the energy, this is what we were speaking about, that cohesion, that unity, that community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is to pull together, not to continuously separate. Because what happens? What happens when they divide and conquer? It's easier, is it not? I mean, so it's like in together we're stronger. And the thing that I also, I don't know if y'all noticed it. Every time I'm here, often I'm rocking, because whenever I start rocking, it's like I'm starting to feel this beautiful energy. I've been doing that a lot since I got here, a lot since I got here, and everything in which she just starts going. It's like you feel this energy off of her, and this whole place. It's y'all don't know. I can't describe it enough. What we get in spaces is nowhere near being in person, and I would encourage anybody, gather together. There are communities that are off of the internet that we can do both. We can do all of this to bring this energy forward. It's time for this web of beauty to expand and go across in physical life, in the internet, everywhere. This has been an amazing journey for me to meet, and oh dear God. And
here's the thing. Just if you can just recognize, and maybe if there's nothing else that you walk away with, it would be this: the light does not separate. The light does not divide. You cannot divide light. Okay, it is that cohesion, it is the bringing together. And so when there's division in anything, whether it's a division within a family unit, whether it's a division in our government, whether it's a division from country to country, the light, there's no focus on the light. And so even this is when we get depression. This is when we get feeling the fear mongering. We get all of those things because, it's so strange because they use fear as a weapon. And when we play into that fear, and it's, oh, this is how this is going, and this is how that is going, and guess what everybody's focused on? That fear of everybody's all screwed. We're all going to hell in a handbasket, right? Well, guess what? You're in the shadows. All you got to do is turn around, the light's behind you. And then guess what? As you do that 180 and you focus, it shifts and changes. Oh my. Where's the love? Where's the wisdom? Wow.
Oh my God.
You know, not with you saying that, I want people to really, really think. Okay, united we stand, divided
Divided
we fall. Okay, and most division doesn't come from the outside; it comes from within. Okay, whether it's a government doesn't fall because of outside sources; it falls because of division within.
Within.
Okay?
Yep.
A political alliance, a political party, relationships, the job that you work. Okay. These things don't fall because of outside things, they fall because of inside division. People have to unite, people have to work together. And that's where that positive energy comes in. That's where when I bring in stoicism and all that, wisdom, temperance, courage, justice, all of that has to work together. What?
Oh, I'm not interrupting. Go for it.
No, it was so funny.
No, you're on a roll.
No, you're on a roll. It's not you.
not
Honestly, no. I'm just.
Girl.
Did you guys
No.
get a little before?
No. Seriously, it is the energy. It's the love. It's the grace. It's like I'm like. I can hear my husband is what it is, and he's not here. It's like, oh no! And I just told her, I whispered it. I'm sorry, guys. This is a free for all. You never can tell what you're gonna get from Shadowfox. I mean, we're swapping this shit up. So
Today in particular.
uh-huh.
But one of the things that you were saying though, there, Paul, that this division is within them. When we think about the fact that if we bring into balance, and balance means that both sides have an equal amount of weight and focus, then we pull that together, and then there is that balance that we're requiring to bring together all the aspects of self, even not just the whole planet and the country and even within our family. It's just to bring into that beautiful harmony, that balance, of all different perspectives, and then just fuel it through love. It's
right. Part of why I was bringing this together and all that is I was bringing up stoicism for a reason, because I wanted to demonstrate how stoicism and spirituality, how Bryce comes into your spaces, and Benny and other stoics, and you guys from the spiritual side go into the stoicism spaces now. And instead of trying to turn on each other saying, no, your way sucks and our way is best. No, that's not what we're doing. We're bringing together the things that coincide, and that's what's causing that unity,
Here's Paul. Here's something, and I do know you truly have this political edge. And as far as me, okay, I mean, I really am more of, let's just say, an independent. One side, other side, both sides are going to have to work to get my vote. I'm sorry. I'm just right, really kind of down in the middle. I would vote for the person I believe that could do the job that they are looking at stepping into, working towards. So let me pose a synopsis for just a moment, okay? If we were to take, and we're not going to go like specifically on a political arena here, so please don't just bow out. Just give me a second, okay? Because this is a way to step into that healing and step into reconnecting with our neighbor down the street that perhaps has a different colored flag on their front porch, vote for. Okay. So if we look at the Republican Party, okay, I'm just calling out the Republican Party right now. The Republican Party represents the male energy, the daddy, the authoritarian. Wait till your daddy comes home and this is what's going to happen. He's the one that lays that law right on down, and this is the way it's going to be, and by golly, it's going to be that way. We got us a daddy. Now, on the Democratic side, we have the mommy, the crying hearts, the all of these little things, the nurturance. Let's care for everybody, which is a good thing to do, I guess. And it's also a good thing to have somebody that is, let's say,
Paying
that
the bills.
protector, paying the bills, and so on and so forth. So when you look at it as in our government structure, as we have a mommy and we have a daddy. Well, if we look at a family unit, a mommy and a daddy are required to have and build in an emotional component with wisdom and love from both sides, right? We all know what happens when we're a single parent, whether you're a single dad or a single mom, right? It always, we get a good measure from both. There's a connectiveness, right? And guess what? The rest of the population, okay, the ones who are voting for these people into these government offices, we are the children. Think about that. And if there's, it's like right now in our government, it's like a divorce is going on, and we're all looking at who's going to get custody of the kids, who's going to get custody of the parent. Okay, so when we think about this from the macro to the micro, there's always a way working and looking through energy and just changing our focus a little bit. So really is how can one side be better than the other? It can't. Is a dad better than a mom? Is a mom better than a dad? I'm sorry, but I can't justify and say, yeah, one's better than the other. And, okay, there could be people, family members that have issues with a parent, and just look at the bigger scope in a let's just say a perfect world. You have, we're all looking at making this, the United States of America great again. Well, what was that? Back in the 50s, we had a mom at home, we had a dad that was working, we had income where we could, is that what we're looking at? So if you're going along for that idealism, then think about that. How can we hold a bias on one position, whether it be a Republican or a Democrat? So I'm the kid, I'm the independent, you're going to damn well have to work to get my vote. You're going to have to really come and show me something. And if it ain't vibing with energy, if it's, where is the love? Where is the wisdom that's going to enhance our livelihood 7 years, 7 generations down the road? So it's just another way to perceive something. And I thought we'd put that in there because when we're looking at this high energy, because we will be stepping into, we can create it anytime we like. Pain and suffering is optional, people. Take it, leave it, or don't. But pain and suffering is optional, and you have that choice. And I know Diana and I right now, man, we ain't choosing pain and suffering, and it's like we're the kids. We're hanging back and watching mom and dad fight like heck. And it's Absolutely. Like, for what? Are you fighting for us? Well, guess what? We love you. I love you both.
Right.
But behave like an adult, please.
Exactly. One of the things I've been given some beautiful gifts on this. This is one of the things that I was given. There's the camera. This is a Lemurian crystal. And I was told about, and this is another thing I got just this morning, which is rose quartz. Yes, rose quartz. Thank you. Love. And this one,
Good vibes only.
I brought that for her. Now, the thing that I'm pointing this out, though, is this Lemurian crystal, is because the thing that I understand about the Lemurian age is that it was a single-sex environment. Prior to mankind and the separation of the genders, Lemurians, they were pretty much a single-sex environment. So they had both the masculine and the feminine physically as well and in every other way. And the thing that gets me about that is that it shows that we started out from unity. We started out from unity. We chose to separate this, and that's just the genders. But, we're choosing to separate in so many other ways when what we started out as is unity, is as togetherness, as oneness, which we still are. We just have to remember that.
And that is the light.
That's right.
So, end the show. We're good.
Yeah, we're done.
Go ahead, Paul. Seriously, I had to make a mention of that, and I thought we'd give you a moment just to consider, that perception, that persona.
Yeah, no, that was a great metaphor, a great analogy, and all that. Have either one of you seen that episode with Oprah Winfrey when she had Jane? I forget what her name is.
Goodall, Jane Goodall.
Could be, yeah, could be.
Ape lady.
The ape lady.
She did the no, she did the brown eye, blue eye difference.
Nope.
Okay. What Oprah did and all that is when people came in, she had people sitting in one side of the audience because they had brown eyes and one side because they had blue eyes. And she tried to tell everybody that blue eye,
brown. Okay, we got blue and we got brown, brown, blue. Okay.
Right. Anyways, she tried to say that the blue-eyed people were deficient. They weren't as smart. They, had issues and stuff like that, And it was so amazing at how people in the audience ran with that. I always knew there was something wrong with her. It was her blue eye. People so easily jump on it because it gives a justification as to why you are superior to somebody else. It comes back to superiority.
Yeah.
People want to feel like they're superior. So when a weakness, what they perceive as a weakness, is pointed out, they run with it.
Right.
Well,
that causes division.
Well, Paul, the same thing. I mean, did that group of people, for the briefest of moments, stop and question that statement and what it actually represented? And this is the same thing, like, well, let's bring back executions. Let's execute that person for doing this. Or that person didn't do this. I didn't like the way that person, so let's execute them. Oh yeah, let's go ahead. I think that should be it. Well, those people that
Jane Elliott
step on that bandwagon, for the briefest of moments, if that was you before a firing squad, would you be saying the exact same thing? This is where we bring that information and that teaching about, until you have walked in another person's moccasins, not a mile, 5 miles up and 5 miles back, with all the weight, with all the luggage, with everything else that individual has had to carry, do you ever have a questionable right to question the means of why that person either behaved or acted within the way that they have? And so when people are calling for this, I mean, seriously, this is where the rubber meets the road. When we're talking about, goods, you could go, good vibration. Good vibrations. We can continue to choose that, Or what we can do is we can say the hell up. Okay, let's just start executing everybody because I don't like the way you think. You're not in my tribe. I don't like you. You have blue eyes. You have brown eyes. Hey, what do we do with the people who have green eyes?
I have to say this though. The thing is that I wonder sometimes if it's always just a matter of trying to feel superior so much as just trying to feel like you're okay. Because the thing of the matter is that we're always looking to make certain that we are okay. And if we're not feeling that, then we will bring others. Misery loves company. They will try to judge and bring others down into their wherewithal and understanding. So the thing that I'm trying to figure out here is that if we would just, if everyone would start looking only within and never ever try to look without and cast that assessment or that judgment on anyone else to try to say, well, I'm better than that person. No, it's the thing I can't for the life of me figure out. There is I don't care what belief system any of us are. If we are all of the one source energy, how can any part of that be better or worse than the other? How is that possible?
She's on a roll.
No, you're correct. But you see,
I was, but she buttered
it. You guys have no idea because when we do our spaces, we do. We could a couple of days early. We may be talking about something, or we may have each been in a different space when she was allowed to be in spaces, guys. So anybody out there that can get know somebody in the X universe, the Twitter universe, whatever. I mean, seriously.
Yes.
Her getting banned? Are you kidding me?
Bryce said the power threesome. Shadow Fox and Diana are having way too much fun.
Oh, we are.
Peace, reason, logic, and wisdom. Love you all. We love you too, Bryce. Thank you.
Thank you, Bryce. And seriously, this is why when Paul put up, what was it? It was like love meets wisdom. Oh my! It was like this. We're just gonna have fun. We're just gonna roll with it. We're going.
Yes. No, Diana. Here's the thing. It was Jane Elliott that did the blue eye, brown eye experiment.
Okay.
Then, if you go back even further and all that, you can go back to the Stanford prison experiment where they took college students. They made some of the prison guards, the others the prisoners, and people step into those roles. They take it on. Okay. This is happening in real life.
In real life,
reality. People are being put in these roles of superiority, and they're being told that other people are inferior.
Yeah.
And they're jumping on that bandwagon.
Well,
and our job, our job is to spread that wisdom and love to get people out of that mindset. Because that mindset is what's causing all the problems in not just our country, but in the world. That superiority complex. And we need to eliminate that and bring people on this level of we're all one and the same.
Yes. Well, here's the thing, and here's a very important part. Judge not, lest ye be judged. I'm sorry. The moment of judgment comes in, yep, that person should be executed. They did that wrong. Really? Like, because someone either A, made a mistake or did not show up the way you expected somebody to behave or act, you're going to execute, take their lives? Who are these people? Like, if that was the case, then you should be the first one to sign up and get in line. I'm sorry, if that's the way, this is where it comes with it. I'm sorry, the rubber hits the road because that is a freaking judgment. And who are you to stand in judgment of me? Who are you to stand in judgment of her or Paul or Bryce or anyone? Because this is where it gets hot and heavy, people. Make no mistake. I can come across as a nice, soft, gentle breeze. Or damn well you can feel the wrath of a tornado. So recognize that when it's just have that awareness that you're actually slipping into that vortex. It's like the vortex. Okay, well, guess what? Here's a couple life preservers. Here you go. All you got to do is reach out. But to sit there and not recognize, not recognize that you are really coming across and bringing and lambasting somebody with a judgment? Ooh, who the heck are you? Oh my.
I know. We've actually gotten to a point where you talked about throwing out that life preserver. We've actually gotten to a point to where somebody will be sitting there drowning, and instead of throwing in the life preserver, we're like, how many likes can I get?
You throwing them.
How many likes can I get? Oh my God, this is going to go viral. Oh my goodness. How many views am I going to get?
Paul, we're giving him the cement boots.
We've gotten to a point to where we don't even care if somebody dies in front of us, as long as we can get recognition for seeing it.
Yeah.
Think about that. Joe and I just watched, like, maybe a week ago and all that. God, I forget even the nickname they had for it. Kilfies or something like that, where people are so inclined to, they got to get that perfect selfie that they will risk their own life in doing so. It's like, where have we gone in this world that getting that perfect picture is so much more important than someone's life?
I agree, 100%. I mean, Paul.
And the thing too is all these people with these cameras, they're the camera phones, and they're videotaping all of this stuff that is really, really, really heinous. And turn your face away. You're gonna make me laugh. That's really heinous, though. I mean, it is basically. I'm going to have a big hit off of this on social media and all of it. Why? Where's the compassion? Where is the love in any of that?
Yeah, they kick the people off that are showing the love. And yet they keep the people on that, are showing like porn and being cruel to others. But yet, Diana, we have a message. There's something that we have to offer, and yet the Twitterverse, the Xverse. I mean, is it upside down? Is there a way to write this? I mean, seriously. I mean, could we go? Yeah, we could all go to a different platform. Of course we could. But it's not only Diana. There have been many, many people whose accounts have just been, shit the bed, man. Like, bye, see you later, at a blink of a hand. And yet, those who have the voice and say, let's execute them. Mm-hmm. Oh, they got the voice. Oh my.
Yeah, but I just keep thinking about the fact that in Star Wars, when Obi-Wan Kenobi is about to be cast down by Darth Vader, he says, if you kill me, I will be more powerful than you will ever know.
Yep.
And so the fact of the matter is, we were one. We have always been one. There is no higher. There is no lower. Even a lot of people talk about the hierarchy of angels. That there's this angel is above this angel is above. There's no freaking hierarchy. It is all equal. It's just based on whatever your job is, whatever you've chosen to do. However, there's no hierarchy. There's no such thing as better or worse. So if in the world where this exists, how is it possible to judge? How in any way is it possible to make an assessment against anyone else for anything else when that other person is again creator?
Here's another thing that goes along the same line as what Diana has said, and I've said this many times. If you have to defend a position, let's just think about throwing a red flag out on the field. Because if you literally have to defend a position, then you're not speaking from the light. You're not speaking from love, from wisdom, from honor or integrity. The only thing you're expressing is that part of, well, let's say it could be the ego. It could be this is my belief and yours is all screwed, and all of these things. So as information is being brought forward, or a new view or something else. Um, when people come to learn something in a particular way, and then all of a sudden somebody comes forward and kind of tweaks it just a little bit. Oh Lord, no, let's not do that, because boy, oh boy, that's going to challenge me. I got to think about something, and it just comes forward within that, and it's like, so you got to defend that. So anytime that you find yourself in a position that you recognize when somebody says something that you have to defend that position, think twice. Think 5 times, think 10 times, and figure out, why do you feel that you have to defend? If it is of the light, if it is of service to others in a loving, compassionate way, it would never have to be defended. Why? Because there would be a resonance of truth, a resonance of great accuracy. It's not my truth or her truth or Paul's truth or anybody else's truth. It means this would resonate through eternity.
Right. And there are people in the outer world that aren't necessarily living by truth.
Yes.
Because they're not actually aware of it.
Yep.
And for them, we are all working to get
Towards
them
it.
so that they will be able to be at least aware
Well,
of
this
it.
is why
So
we have the
fact
show.
is that if we are in effect feeling like we have to defend something to the outer world, then it is the outer world standards that we're
Yes.
focused on, and that is not
Nah.
going to get us
Exactly.
anywhere we wish to go.
Exactly.
So it's like, if the outer world does not agree with anything that we're saying here, then it's not going to change the fact that it's still our truth.
Yeah.
And everything, and it will not require any defense ever. She keeps talking under her breath like I can read lips. I don't care.
I'm trying not to show it. Come on, we got to have some fun here, right?
No, you're right, because every aspect of functionality in this world that we live in, that we breathe in, that we have to get through, and we start, putting people down because they, they don't have the high-paying job that you do, or they don't have the expertise that you do. You if you look at them as someone that doesn't matter, then all those people that you think don't matter, let's take away let's just pretend for a moment that they're not here, and the jobs that they do. What is the world going to look like? I mean, no toilet would ever be clean. Okay. Nobody's garbage would ever get picked up.
Well, I thought we'd have robots to do that.
Well, we're still away from that day and age, but that's coming. But
Okay.
my point is that all these different things, who's going to cook your food for you? If you don't want to cook that night, all these different things that people look at as a lesser, you treat the waiter or waitress bad. She just took your damn order, or he just took your order. How are you getting your food without that person doing that job? Everybody brings something to the table. No matter who they are or what they're doing, they bring something to the table. And those that usually aren't because it's people that disallow them to bring what they have to the table.
Yeah. The thing I was thinking of when you were saying that, there's a sort of a story, but I think it meant to be a joke. But anyway, the different organs of the body were sitting there talking amongst themselves as to who is the most important. And the brain, well, I control everything, so I'm the most important. This heart says, no, I'm the battery for the entire body. Without me, there's no blood going everywhere that is required. There's no oxygen going everywhere. And then the lungs were saying, well, yes, but I provide the oxygen for the body, and the body needs oxygen in every one of these organs. All of these organs are sitting there saying all of this kind of stuff and arguing and everything like that. And then finally the colon says, I'll show you who's most important. Shuts up. The colon stops. the eyes cross, the head gets dizzy, the heart starts palpitating.
Is that kind of when you're full of it?
Yeah, so it's like, there's the joke in it, but yet the fact is that, there is no such thing as one more important part than any other, and
you need them all.
we require every last bit of us, even those that we might look at in our own perspective and say that they are this heinous kind of person. And there are people out there that have done heinous things. I get that. But the thing is that they are also a part of that source energy that we are all a part of. So how can I despise? How can I hate? I can still love in the fact that they are just unaware. They are unaware
if
of
a
what
child,
they're doing.
if one of your children make a mistake, are you going to execute them?
Yeah. If your puppy pees on the carpet, are you going to kick it across the yard?
Well, careful because there could be some people that would.
Let me throw another perspective out there, because you just brought up a joke that was actually a really good educational aspect. Okay, again, wisdom. I just saw on TikTok the other day a video, and it resonated with me. And let's pretend for a moment this is $100 bill and not a $1 bill. I wish I had a $100 bill to do this, but let's pretend this is a $100 bill. Would you want this $100 bill?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I just crumbled it up. Would you still want this $100 bill?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Now I'm going to throw it on the ground. I'm going to stomp on it, get it all in the dirt, just pound the hell out of it, pick it back up. Do you still want this $100 bill?
Oh, I would, but she wouldn't. She won't. No, she won't. She won't pick it up.
Would you still want this $100 bill?
Yes, it still fits in the same spot in the cash register.
Yep.
I crumpled it, I stomped on it, and it still has its value.
Yep.
Right.
And as a human being, think about that. No matter how bad you feel like your world is crumbling around you, okay? No matter how much you get stomped on and knocked into the dirt, you still have value.
Yes.
Your value hasn't changed.
Yep.
No matter what bad things happen to you, you still have value.
Yeah.
And people need to recognize not only that they themselves, no matter how bad things are, have that people still have value. They also need that they still have value. They also need to recognize that the people's world that they're crumbling, the people's world that they're stomping down on, that person still doesn't lose their value. No matter what you do, you don't take away that person's value. You might lessen your own.
Paul, one of the things is if we can just reflect for one moment and figure out who we choose to follow. What path is somebody directing us down? Is it some other human being that has, some very great vices in one form or another? Or are we going to listen to the ultimate love and wisdom which resides within us?
Yes.
I don't care what person is out there. Just because somebody says, hey, go jump off a cliff. Oh, okay. Why? Because somebody said so? Like, come on, really? Somebody says, oh, let's do this. Let's execute him. Let's shoot him. Let's do that. Let's whatever those things. And I'm just making this reference because I had this freaking asinine dream that it was like, it really was. I must say, to get very serious, it was about a week or 10 days ago. I had this dream, and people were coming forward, and it was little batches at a time, and this little batch kept getting bigger and bigger, and this little batch was everything that had to do with anger, division, hatred, killing. It had everything to do, and it was like one or two people, and it was kind of like fractioned out, Paul. and it was like bringing back executions. Not, I don't mean executions like from the prison system. I mean literally like in the road, like here you go, and let's just shoot them and they're dropping. And it's like, okay, well, who's cleaning up the bodies? Oh no, we're not going to worry. We're just going to, we'll just stomp on them, and that kind of. And it was, there was, yeah, no, really, it was really like total disregard for that value of that individual, no matter what. Just because you don't agree with someone doesn't mean that they don't carry that value. Just like Paul showed with that money, right? You crinkle it, you could even burn it a little bit, get some dirt on it. I was teasing you, Diana, with the dirt. But no, I did. I had that dream, and it was like, and I have no idea particularly why I am making a mention of that and speaking about the executions, because that's not where my head is at. And it's not normally in my, let's just say, my purview, or it's not within my own reality. And for some reason, I have been speaking about it, and I have no freaking clue why, other than perhaps someone somewhere would have to hear this. Because I honestly, it was like this dream, and it wasn't one of those dreams that were upsetting. It wasn't one of those dreams that were like massively, I mean, it was to me, but in the dream, there wasn't that emotional component. It was just like almost like a matter of fact, and it was like almost consecutive. Like you could see these chains of events coming, and that end result was the action thereof.
Right.
And I woke up and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Because that's the road that we're headed down if we continue on the path that we're on. That was a premonition, basically. That's the path that we're on if we hang down this road. And it's up to us and people like us who think like the way we do to spread that information so that we don't go down that path. Bryce says, in Stoicism, people are all equal through the logos, the divine logic and reason that binds the universe together from day one. We are all brothers and sisters in arms equally in this way. We are.
We are. Oh, no, wait a minute. All right, Bryce. Okay, I'm going to take issue with this. You said brothers.
And sisters.
What, did he?
Yeah, we're all brothers and sisters.
Oh, okay. I take that back. Sorry, I thought you just said we're all brothers because, well, I was going to say now, no.
No, I agree with you, and that's the case because we now in Stoicism, to take it to spirituality, we are all one. We are all one if the Creator. That's just all there is to it. So there's no upper or lower part of
it. Bryce is good. Bryce
wrote.
But the thing is
no, Bryce wrote, the person Marcus Aurelius, the emperor, admired and quoted most was Stoic master Epictetus, the slave. Powerful stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, in that right there, that small little component that Bryce just put up, that could be an entire dissertation. I mean, seriously, like just that alone, you could go off for 2 weeks on that.
Yes.
You know, that, wow. Yeah, yes. Bryce, I'm sorry. Apologies.
This is part of the point of what we were all talking about. Love love and wisdom are one and the same.
Yes.
When you look at the 4 cardinal virtues of Stoicism and all that, wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice, they're all one and the same. And yes, I got all 4 of them out without hesitating. Usually I always fear that I'm going to forget one, and I do because I already put it in my head. Think about this. I already put it in my head. I fear I'm going to forget one, and I do. And I eliminate that fear, like I'm not going to forget any. So instead of even saying I'm not going to forget, I've eliminated that. I will remember all four. I will remember all four because I take the negativity out of my thought process. I want people to think about that. If you take the negativity out of your thought process and you only put positiveness in your thought process, you're going to change how you think. You're going to change your health. You're going to change everything about yourself, and it's going to make you a better person. And if you don't say, I want to be a better person, say, I am a better person, because then you'll start living that you are a better person. You will start living as a better person. You will be that better person.
Exactly. That was the point from the beginning of what I was saying. Where's the love in it? When you are sitting there, and that love must be shined to us as well. And so often people don't do that. And then, we got off into to judgment. We've got off into separatism and versus unity. We got off into all of these different topics, but it still comes back to the same thing, which is the conscious behavior of control. So it means that we actually have to start making certain that, because we've been in this human paradigm for this life and whatever your belief structure, however many lives prior to, we've actually allowed ourselves to fall into, what was that? Anyway, we've actually fallen into, these trappings of what we have been, and what where we have would sit there.
I don't know why I'm laughing. It's rubbed off.
The bells are going up. I'm sorry, guys. Paul and I are saying this whole show. I'm so sorry because I have been
walk into this.
I have been losing it, Paul.
But the fact is that when it comes down to it, we can and are able to control.
Oh, I'm trying. I am so
crystal. It's just a crystal.
No, it's the giddiness. It's the beauty. It's the grace. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm trying not to continually laugh.
Okay, look over there. No, wait a minute. She's like a weevil. She wobbles and comes back.
I'm a weeble.
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Oh, my only point is that if we will get to where we can control ourselves, and that's the first step.
See,
is starting to recognize the emotion that or the thoughts that are not of the highest and best. And again, I keep asking myself, where's the love in each and every thought? And if you can't do it with your thoughts and emotions, what I started out doing was controlling my actions and my words.
Yep.
If something I was about to say, if I'm like, oh no, I'm going to feel bad if I say this to that person, or if I gossip about this person, or if I do this, I'm going to not feel so great about myself because I'm working to live in this energy of love. Well, then all I have to do is to make certain that I am controlling the words before they come out, which is coming from what? Thought and emotion. So, and the same for my actions. So all I have to do is start focusing on that. I will get to there, and then that will lead me into a more divine control of self.
Okay, and here's a perfect example. So we can take a look at all those negative aspects of the emotional component. What you just witnessed was us, especially Paul and I, not being able to contain that the humor bug, right? Talk about, yeah, okay, right? Yeah, we kind of lost it. Yeah. But again, so here's a point very quickly, Paul. Thank you. When Diana was really speaking, between love and wisdom, we also have to look at where is the humor. And so this episode, we're playful. We played with you guys, right? Because sometimes we can come across and we can lambaste some real heavy information, and we just thought we'd temper us with a little bit of fun. Because guess what? That's what life is. You can ask Diana. Seriously, she's seen my husband and I in action, just living our lives. And it's that part of joy of we can't always take ourselves all that serious other than if you're going to step in line for executions. Well, then, hey, the laughter kind of stops and you're going to get a boot up your ass. But, I mean, come on, really, people? Really? So I just have to say, Paul, thank you so very, very much for all the work that you do, getting this show ready for us to come in and we can be characters and like have fun and just share with you guys and kick it up a bit. But having Diana here has really been a great honor. It truly has. Don't be looking at me like that. Yeah, a great honor, and with all sincerity, I say thank you to everyone. Everyone that's listened. Yeah, we had fun. I probably behaving poorly here. Been the instigator. Oh, I can be the instigator. Oh, yeah. But Paul, thank you really for all the work that you've done. And again, seriously, the seriousness that you do bring here to the show, and that with the suicide prevention and all of that. Thank you for that. Truly,
it's a pleasure.
You're also trying to help change the country with the politics and what you're bringing forward, because you do bring forward a very sound idea, in my opinion.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to thank you, ladies, for being here today. This has been a very, very, very fun show. Now, know that the emergency broadcast system is going to hit in like 13 minutes. Everybody's phones are going to go off. The TVs are going to go off.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's today's October 4th. Yep. It's happening today. And of course, the theory out there is that our government's throwing that G5 out over the things and all that. So everybody that got their vaccines, it's going to line up all those nanobots, and we're going to lose our ability to think today. So just know that in like 17 minutes and all that, we're all going to lose consciousness. But no, what I'm not kidding about is at 20 after. And like 16, 17 minutes and all that. It's done by FEMA and the National Emergency Broadcast. Your phone's going to be getting really loud. Your TV, all of this stuff is supposed to go off. So there's been posts about it. Just look it up. October 4th, emergency broadcast system.
Hey, Paul, is that if you got them, do them? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. The conspiracy theorists think that all of us that have had our shots and all that are going to be.
That's the rabbit hole.
Yeah. So
I've had 3.
Yeah, I've had 3. I've had 3 too. I guess this is our last 16 minutes of rationality here on Earth. So anyway.
Okay. Well, then guess what? When we do the Journey Within at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you think this was bad,
yes.
Oh, tune in, please.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to bring it into the show. I will put the suicide crisis number back up for the end of the show and all that.
Yes.
Remember, everyone, please be kind, be happy, and may good things come your way. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Love you.
Meow.
Meow.
Yep. Meow. I'll be right back.